Hello, Taurus, my dear Taurans. Welcome. This will be your reading. Within this reading of yours, my dear Taurans, we will be taking a look at how your energy impacts other people, how your energy impacts others around you. Let's get started. Taurus, I see that you've had a hard time loving yourself. You have, self-worth, self-esteem, self-love has been a constant battle and struggle in your life for a long time. It's like you would see the beauty in other things and people, even places, but when it comes to seeing the beauty of yourself within yourself, it's a problem, it's a struggle. There's a bit of trouble and turbulence with regards to that. Taurus, the reason you faced a lot of hardships in your life is because you're the only person that can handle that much pain. The sign of Taurus, you are the sign of endurance, which means endurance speaks of being able to withstand something and not letting it break you in any way. You can endure it, weather the storm of it. You are the sign of endurance, self-endurance. And self-endurance is the key to a character development, anyone's character development. Every individual needs to go through character development. Everyone. For people to grow, for people to know themselves better, for people to understand anything in a better way or in much more depth. They need to go through character development, but that is your energy. That lies upon your energy. The sign of endurance. Having the capacity to withstand something fully and still not fall or fumble or fold. And because of this, your life was never easy, because it was never meant to be. Because of who you were meant to become, because of the character that you needed to develop in this life. Things couldn't be smooth sailing for you, Taurus. You wouldn't be who you are if that was the case. You needed the hardships, you needed the pain, you needed all of that. I feel like it took you a long time to, love yourself or be in a state of self-acceptance. Acceptance of self, whether it be your mistakes, your flaws, who you are, your energy. You just have struggled with that for a long time. I feel like you see the beauty in other things and other people, but when it comes for you to take a look within and see it in you, you find flaws instead. You find mistakes. You find reasons not to see the good in yourself, or even looking at yourself with the lens you look at other people. You tend to neglect yourself emotionally. Because you know your strength, Taurus, or you should by now. Because of the strength and the power you possess, it doesn't mean that that is the life you are destined for, a life of pain, a life of misery, a life of hardships and grief, just because you can handle it well. You also deserve love as everybody else on this damn planet does. You deserve to be catered for and catered to. You deserve to be taken care of as you take care of everyone else around you. You are not here to only just be used, taken advantage of, abused, disappointed. That is your process of life. Yes, you went through that, but you got through it. And because of what you went through, you are able to be this person. You are able to be who you are. You are able to say, I am untouchable, because it's true, because you know what you're talking about. I can gather maybe a handful of people that might know of your story, but nobody really understands the process that you went through, because nobody felt it like you did. Because after all, it happened to you. I feel like also it's time you remove this lens that you look at yourself in and replace it with a lens of who you've been called to be. You might not see yourself as an amazing and beautiful individual, but that does not mean that you are not an amazing or beautiful individual because you don't see yourself as that. You need to change that for yourself, not for anyone else, and not because of anyone else's approval or validation of who you are. You need to see that within yourself, Taurus. You need to be okay with who you are. Now you are currently on a path of self-acceptance. Accepting not only who you are, but who you are becoming. There's heavy character development happening now in your life. Getting rid of all the clutter. Getting rid of all things to invite the new, and nothing of the new is bad. Even if it's something that you are uncomfortable with, it doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that you're growing, because with uncomfortability comes growth. You cannot grow if you are chilling and you are comfortable. You need to get uncomfortable for you to grow, Taurus. And now, that's the season you're in. It's uncomfortable because it's not the old. It's not what you were used to. It's the new you calling. It's the new you saying, maybe yeah, I want to live fully and not just in glimpses, in moments, in situations. I want to be fully present. Let the old self go. He is resisting the new because you're comfortable with the old habits, old ways of thinking. Now's the time to release all of that, beloved. You cannot live in that state of being any longer. You will drown yourself in misery because you are not fully living your life the way you want to. And the only thing holding you back is yourself at this point. Your past has now become your power. Your past has now become your power. The pain, the darkness has now turned into happiness and light through your healing and self-preservation. Because you have went through a process of needing to get out of your comfort zone so that you can understand yourself and what you're here for. And you taking that leap of faith of getting out of your comfort zone is the resultant of the good that is about to emerge in your life. You need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable now, Taurus. It's going to get you to where you need to be, and you're going to lead a much happier life because of that. Stop living in the past. Stop holding on and stop being too impatient and frustrated with yourself. When you make a mistake, when you don't get it right, when it's not going the way you want it to. Everything is a process. You should know that by now. And the process at which things happen depends on the season. And now you're in the season of self-acceptance. And you are being placed in positions where you need to get out of the old you and allow the new you to emerge. So that you accept what you're here for and who you're becoming and who you've become. It's no longer who you're becoming, it's who you've become. And there's little things that are holding you back from fully becoming who you were supposed to be. You are not your childhood trauma. You are not your pain and misery and grief and loneliness. And you're most definitely not supposed to be carrying any emotional baggage from other people's responsibilities and actions towards you. So whose fault is it that they decided to deceive you? Yours? No. It's them. It's who they are. Disassociate yourself from that. Detach from it completely, because you are going to be battling other people's demons by living in a state of being, of taking up your own energy and giving it to others in a way of blaming yourself for their actions, blaming yourself for how things happen in your childhood, in your life. It was beyond your control. It was just the process. If you continue to live in that state of being, you won't realize the good that is happening in the present, the current moment, right now, right now. That is what you should be looking at. That is what you should be focusing on, the present. Because nothing else matters, not even the future. The present is all that matters right now. That is what should have your attention. That is what you should be looking at. And that is what you should be devoting your energy to. Nothing and no one else that is linked to your past is in any way allowed in your energy anymore. It's not happening. The divine made sure of that. Your spirit guides have been working behind the scenes. Your ancestors don't play about you. No one can have access to you unless they are divinely placed in your life. It's not on you anymore, Taurus. Let the divine handle it. You've played your role. You've played your part. Release yourself of everything now and just live your life free of any baggages. You are not who they said you were going to be, clearly. Time will always tell, Taurus. They had all these opinions. They had all of these negative things to say. But slow and steady wins the race at the end of the day. because you didn't step on anyone's toes to get to where you are. You did it because you earned it. You're here because you earned it. You can live this life because you earned it. You can do what you want because you earned it. You are free from pain because you earned it. You can stop crying because you earned it. You are not spoon-fed. It was tough out here for you, and nobody else understood because no one else was going through it. It was your process and your process alone. It's time you respect that. Respect your process and look at it as a process. Stop looking at it as something that happened to you. It's the process that happened to you so that you can become who you are right now. Without the process, you wouldn't exist as this being. God knows how you would have turned out without the process. You needed it. We all need the process, Taurus. Yours was a little difficult than anyone else's, but because of the difficulty, the abundance is going to be greater. The happiness is going to be greater than the pain of the past. You can no longer take upon anyone else's burdens, Taurus. You are not to blame for anything and anyone who has chosen to deceive you, lie to you, or wrong you in any way. It's time you set yourself free. People make their choices and their decisions. It's nothing about you. It's totally about them and the type of person that they are and their character development and their process. You have now become a lesson to everybody who once said you wouldn't be anything, because you are living proof that God is still breathing, that God is alive. And no one can take that from you because you earned it. If you hadn't earned it, it would have been just given to you, easy, smooth sailing, and therefore could easily be taken from you also. But because you earned it, it is for life. Your bond with your guides. You have a very powerful bond with your ancestors, your spirit guides. You're very connected to them to the point where it's like they one with you. They live in you. They breaking boundaries through you. You were chosen. You are the first to do many things in your family. Maybe the first to even fly, be on a plane, the first to be successful, the first to break free of the generational curses of being an alcoholic, of having lack, of being poor. You're the first because you've chosen to be that. No one else could do it. Who else if not you? They failed because it was not their destiny. It is what you've been called upon. Therefore, you cannot be replaced. You cannot be duplicated, replicated, cloned. There's one you, and you are here for a specific purpose that is slowly unraveling as you go through this process of life, as you live this life of yours. It's time you set yourself free from the baggages and burdens of others. It was their responsibility. It was their role that they had to play in your life. They failed. They failed. They failed. Not you. Set yourself free. It's time to live your life. You're secured in ways that you need, and you can therefore have the wants. Taurus, there's nothing wrong with having desires. There's nothing wrong with wanting to live a little in a way that you want to, in a way that's going to make you happy. Do something for yourself. Do everything for yourself. Choose yourself, since they failed to choose you so many times. It is your life to live, Taurus. It is in your hands. You dictate it now. You have that power. You've been granted it by God, okay? Still there, still guiding you, still looking, still playing the role in your life. But God is saying, be free, my child, and experience life. Because all God wants is for you to be happy, nothing else. He's laid the foundations for you. Now it's time to build on them the way you choose to, if you know what I mean. That'll be all. Okay, my dear Taurans, thank you for joining me. You'll find my email in the description box below if you want to book me for any type of reading. And I thank you so much for your time and your attention. Until next time. Bye.